comes
definitely
down to these tiny mistakes, it seems the level of skill is thrilling to watch.
yes, definitely. So we have our first map pool of the day in referee den. So we have
OD. Come
OD
on.
is in there. We also have Don't Worry, Sky Fracture VIP, Endless, Feral, Backcountry, Crossing Delta, Ponko Too Girlish, and Purge My Existence Out of This World. We have the first couple bands, so Purge, Backcountry, and Don't Worry are the bands. So I think those are the top, the lowest, and the exact middle of the pool, which is interesting.
Yeah, they're definitely not working around this pool based on difficulty. They're probably just going for favorites. Personally, I wouldn't be surprised to see Feral, just because it's kind of a classic. But
yeah, Feral's definitely been a favorite.
Even with the ratings coming out of the tournament algorithm, it's still really hard to, like, if something is rated like a 52, but it's a 52 on the basis of like complex movement, but the input density isn't that bad, versus like another 52 that's got like really high input density, but the movement is simple, then like one person who's good at one thing but a little bit weaker with the other thing could feel like those 52s are like anywhere from like a 45 to like a 60. So it's kind of like,
yeah.
It's really on an individual level what the difficulties feels like.
Yeah, different play sets and styles and everything. I've noticed on a game I've been playing, Sequence Storm, there's two main control schemes that people play are either on gamepad or keyboard. And I decided to start playing on keyboard a little bit, and it like completely shifted up the difficulty of it just because of like certain things being much harder to pull off. And I think that although I may not have as much experience with different play styles and spin, I guess a little bit coming from controller, but like there are definitely certain things that just challenge some players.
Let me just interject for a second. It looks like they've settled on Feral, as you predicted.
So
Yeah, definitely interesting that it gets picked a lot, because I feel like a lot of players find this to be a difficult chart, especially in the latter half.
For me, so it's rated at 52. The tourney rated it at 55. For me, Feral feels equally difficult to some of the 60s that I've passed. And I don't know if that's because of the 60s that I've passed are overrated, but there are some parts of this, like I can full combo through like the first 2/3 of it if I'm really on my game. But there are some parts of it that get really, really hard around like a minute and a half left.
Yeah, I agree. That part definitely throws me off. It's like, oh, Konomi at it again.
What is going? Okay, they're both doing the Konomi strat.
Why? What?
Pickpig not quite having as much success. Also doing a slightly different strategy, I think. But Konomi seeming to have no problem with that sort of strategy.
I don't even understand because
Konomi has stopped using it.
What?
So
okay. I think they've returned to normal, but I think Konomi might have bribed Pick into signing a contract to do that. But I guess for a moment, just appreciate the Celeste gift that Pick has.
That is what I was losing my mind at the beginning of when I first saw it.
An accurate depiction.
You gotta admire Madeline's persistence.
Yep, it's an really accurate depiction of trying to get into the grand finals from this bracket.
I really enjoy those combo booster strings. I normally get really messed up with mid taps after spins, but those feel actually really natural, and I think they suit the music really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the aesthetic match spam is always appreciated. So both players have missed. Konomi.
Yeah, he's had quite a bit more flubs through there in that middle section.
Yes, however, Pick I think missed a bit more in the intro styling that they did.
That may be the case. I didn't notice
I think
exactly
they
how
just
much.
missed one, right? Maybe one or two.
I think one is all that I saw. It's really hard to tell when they do that. If you're not just staring at the streak. All right, we're approaching the speedy section, Konomi, with a very minor slider break. I don't know if that actually cost any points.
I think it was too small to actually be worth any points. And if it was very, very few.
I like this part. This part's really funny.
It's all matches, but it still somehow feels really intense and engaging.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically the opposite of a snaps chart right there. Because I mean, there's all of those matches would be taps in a snap chart. Yeah, so far both players have been going through this section very smoothly.
Yeah, I haven't seen either mistakes out of either, but
yeah, this is where I like start to miss when I'm playing this.
Such as that miss coming from Konomi. But
oh, I love these triplets.
Me too.
I've heard a number of players all say that they feel that that's really fun for them.
Like any song that has a triplet switch up in it is instant good charting material.
Yeah. Now here's the Swiss triplets that usually throw a lot of people off.
Yeah.
Konomi does pick up the miss
Pick
there.
Alright, that probably puts Pick in the advantage.
Yeah, I think since the very beginning, Pick has been really tearing through this one.
Well, and it's also, like, missing a couple of matches is much less impactful than missing, like, some stacks, for example.
I'm the curse master today. Pickpig picks up a miss right near the end. Almost as if to...
Don't forget about the outro.
Yeah.
Breaking this slider would be devastating.
Oh yeah. Very costly sliders here.
Wait, and so for the slider that actually wiggles, Konomi just plays it straight.
Yeah, it's not challenging enough.
Konomi's a rule breaker. Doesn't abide by anybody's rules that they set out in their charts.
Yeah, but
right,
Pick
makes it.
Yep. Taking that match
pretty cleanly.
I think that is that a 16 MS from Konomi and a 10?
Yeah,
16.36 from Konomi and 10.77 from Pick. That is. Wait, so does that mean that Pick's? I can't read the accuracy bonuses. But does that mean that Pick was behind on base score? Because I didn't actually see.
That might have been the case.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So Pick was behind.
I mean, to be fair, 6 milliseconds is a pretty huge millisecond advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was like 3.5 if it was going from 12 to 16. But there's still, like, for this level of play, that's a big difference.
I mean, being able to get through a feral as cleanly as that is super impressive regardless of your MS, really. But, like, in terms of the points that you get from it, a 10 is going to just come out with much higher than a 16.
All right, so they're going to be doing Sky Fracture next, where I believe this was played during Gavi guys, and I don't remember who Gavi faced. I think was it Pick?
Is this Carmack's only chart in the pool, or is there a second one?
I believe this is Carmack's only chart in the pool, but also their first map being in a tourney pool.
Yeah, I know that they worked really hard to get it into shape, and Balombino helped out some also. They were really looking forward to getting a map into the tourney pool, and they did it, so good for them. I always kind of forget about the song, and then whenever I hear it, I'm like, what is that? It's so cool.
Yes, it is also a very long song. It's almost 6 minutes. Oh, okay, that's
What? Was that a DSP?
Worst DSP of my life.
Yeah, that looked like a DSP error, like pretty severe.
Yeah, so we may
probably, unless Konomi comes out of this ahead anyway. That's another DSP error on Konomi's side, but a less severe one. Probably the players are going to be given the opportunity to replay this, which is, I mean, it's a 5-minute song, so.
Yeah, I guess the one good thing is the error was at the very beginning of the chart, so it's the best place to have a compound miss because you.
Well,
I guess
now
do you start out with combo?
I don't think that's true anymore. It used to be when you started at 1x combo and had to build up to 4, then misses at the beginning didn't really mean anything. But now that you start with 4x combo, missing anywhere except the very end of the song is just as bad as anywhere else.
Okay, yeah, I was still thinking that it started at 1x, but I've just been playing this game for too long. That's like
I remember too. And
ago.
also like the combo-based rhythm game instincts tell you that missing at the beginning or the end is better. But in this case, ever since that change, missing at the beginning is just as bad. And also, like, I feel like Konomi didn't even have the chance to hit those notes, like, at all. Like, after the countdown, the game just, like, skipped ahead to several notes into the chart. It wasn't just like sometimes DSP errors are just like, oh, that happened at a slightly different time than I was expecting. I got a good instead of a perfect. But that was like, those notes didn't exist. It was really brutal.
Yeah, I think that's why players like Bolombino and Trexter load into the chart once and then like either restart or exit out.
Oh.
Yeah, because I've definitely run into that problem before where it'll just be like caught on the loading screen, but the game will still be like starting in the background.
Maybe that was a combination of DSP error and the loading problem.
Yeah, possibly, but Pick has broken combo a little while ago, but I mean, so far Konomi has not missed since that initial start of the chart.
Yeah, so it's possible if Konomi takes this anyway, they won't want to take the replay offered because that will just give Pick the opportunity to get a better score.
Yeah. It would certainly make the decision easier, but we will have to see how it ends up.
Well, they don't really have anything to lose by taking the replay if they don't get this, if they don't come out with a score lead. Another DSP error. This looks like when I play. I wonder if the recent update maybe exacerbated that problem.
Possibly. I know that usually I get like a DSP error every like 10 seconds, so it's not terrible, but to get it like every minute, but it's also not good, especially in competitive play.
Yeah.
Oh, got a
few more misses from Konomi, but I don't think those were based on DSP. Pick seems to be holding steady through this section. I think I saw like a good, but at this point, individual goods don't really mean much.
I'm just pointing out that with Pick's color scheme, it's almost like he's hitting invisible match notes for the purple-blue color there.
Their color scheme really blends in with the background, I think, in this case.
Yeah, it does.
This background is a very purple and like reddish pink magenta type color.
Oh, another miss from Konomi. A couple misses.
Yeah, a few more. Yeah, that's like, oh my god, that's like a DSP error every few seconds. I don't know how that's playable. was going for base game PFCs a couple months ago, and then the update kind of introduced more severe DSP errors than I had been getting before. And I decided to hold off on trying for any more until it got resolved. But it seems like whatever's causing it is a trickier problem to fix than they may have anticipated.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right, Pick with the 500-point lead in base score. Also, a pretty sizable lead in MS.
Yeah,
It's like sub 10 MS.
I imagine they're gonna offer the replay for Konomi. Probably. I mean, that beginning was so brutal, and the DSP errors all throughout. Not that the next playthrough is very likely.
Let's see. I guess if Konomi does replay,
Konomi says don't care.
Okay.
We play OD. All right, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I think Konomi usually doesn't do replays, but also just that score from Pick. I mean, he got sub 10 MS on an almost 6-minute song. That would be very
Konomi
challenging.
Thinks that they can't beat that. Then there's no point. I'm so proud of how this chart came out.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's probably one of your best songs, just in terms of like the first time charting a very difficult song. Outside of like Interstice.
Yeah, Interstice of the Dimension was a ambitious undertaking of mine when I first started charting. It doesn't hold up terribly. It's okay. It's still okay to play, but I think OD is obviously a lot better.
Yeah, it has a lot of varied and difficult patterns in it, which is why a lot of people enjoy it.
I think my microphone cable fell out again.
Uh-oh.
That
Have you been
would
talking?
explain a lot.
We've just been ignoring you, no.
Yeah.
I know that Pick really likes this chart and song too, so Konomi picking it may have just been I like this and I want to play it.
Yeah,
not so much a strategic decision.
I'm definitely a fan of this album. It's one that I really enjoy, but I just don't remember enough to listen to it.
I remember yesterday.
I don't know what to listen to.
I remember yesterday when OD got played, Pick was in chat and said, finally! So...
Okay, both players have picked up a miss at this point.
I think it's about equal. Which gives Pick the advantage. Well, another pretty bad DSP error for Konomi. It's really hard to see. I know Konomi is a very good player.
Yeah, I think Konomi, especially shining on these higher level charts.
But it's really hard to work with DSP errors that frequent and severe. It's unfortunate.
Oh, was that a slider break? I couldn't tell. I think that was a slider break from Pick. There's also on the blue slider, so I might have just been seeing things. Alright, but this is the part that the most players find difficult, the spin beat pattern here.
Yep. You just spin when the guitar strums and change direction when the chord changes. And beat when
simple.
you hear a drum.
Yeah, it's simple. Come on.
I mean,
Easy.
players make it look simple. I mean, they
Easy
both
every
have to
time.
find. Okay, according to the major, Pick did break that slider, so maybe more even MS this time around.
Oh, the hit marker noise.
There was
The hard
oh
part-
no, both players getting some critical misses on like this slower hold section.
Yeah, it looked to be right around the same part, I think, if not like the same exact note that they missed. Or maybe it was an overbeat?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but either way, that probably was equal misses coming from them.
Mm-hmm.
In this trap section at the end, it's not easy. I mean, at this point, you know you're gonna pass, but like it's still a challenge for comboing through. Oof! Look at that graph. Both of them.
All right,
I
well,
wonder if they were
Pix,
both getting errors.
yeah, still with the superior MS despite that
Mhm.
pretty severe burn in the middle of the chart.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if Konomi wants to do a replay or not. I would assume not.
Probably not.
It is best of 5.
That was 3 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
I see. There
that-
was a little bit of confusion in the referee den about whether they were finished.
yes, that means this is the end of Bill Barkin's journey for this tournament. Unfortunate.